and welcome Chief Adjuah to the stage.
BC, what's happening? One more time. What's happening, Kennedy Center? How y'all feeling? We are so pleased to have this moment with you guys and to be back here. This is a brand new group. The group is a few months old, and we're experimenting and trying some different things out. I know from seeing some of you guys earlier that many of you guys saw that this instrument that I created about a year ago, a couple of days ago, it got destroyed on a flight. And they smashed the bridge up, cut the strings, the tuning pegs were messed up, the stainless steel frame was straightened out, and it's obviously not straight. But I put it back together to try and play for y'all tonight. It's a little Humpty Dumpty, but we put them back together to try and, we wanted to come and make sure that we were going to come to the Kennedy Center and to have the moment to be with this specific community, that we also debuted some newer things that we're experimenting with. So the first song that you guys heard today is called Light in Darkness, and that one is about 4 days old. And the second song, Mark Out Thunder, Roar Light, and that's the title track from the most recent record. And then the last one that you guys just heard is maybe a month old. So you guys are, hearing some really, really fresh stuff on new instruments. So we're just having fun, We like to refer to our set as the reevaluation. Obviously, this music has just crossed into its second century. So there's a lot to reevaluate. Not just the stories that we're trying to tell about our experience and to try and effectively communicate that part of our experience, but also things like that are being reevaluated, like the naming, like the use of the term jazz, this sort of stuff. Miles Davis said, "Don't use that." Charles Mingus said, "Don't use it," and for 100 years we still using it. And so we're reevaluating whether or not there's a utility to continue to move forward in that way, and also reevaluating what instruments and what kinds of things the expressions are coming out on. So this one is called Adjuah's Bow. It was created by me for children in New Orleans and places like these areas so that kids in our neighborhood can learn to play music on instruments that have their ancestral recall and methodologies and memory built into the instrument. So for younger players, if they want to learn to play the Ngoni, which is the hunter's harps from West Africa, Senegal, Mali, they'll play the first octave. If they want to play the Simbi, which really comes from the culture of warriors and killers, then that's the second octave. And then the final octave comes from the kora. So built into this sort of 21st century recapitulation of all of these kinds of models is all of those little ancestral memories. So if you played the hunter's harp, you have the hunter's cast. If you were with the warriors, you have the warriors cast. If you were with the griot and jelly, you have that. So any American kid that goes into Mali, no matter what instrument they touch, they'll at least have some sort of understanding if they play the bow. Next up, we're going to continue with some stuff that's coming from a different sort of path and some older music that we had done before called stretch music, which is, there we go, one person. And guys, I'm going to grab these B flats and we're going to get into it. The next one that we're going to play for you is, I'll talk a little bit about it later on, but this one is called Songs She Never Heard, and it's going to feature our 19-year-old bass player, Adjuah Takanaga. the tunes, I guess. The first one that you heard, that segment, was called Song She Never Heard, but the composition is actually written about trying to figure out how to water and grow love. A lot of times, you know, when you live in, you don't have the pleasure of spending time and space with the ones that you have the most amorous and loving and caring feelings for. You know, obviously the song is kind of written from the perspective of a guy to a girl. Maybe you go to a city, you fall in love, and you have to go back home, and now y'all got to navigate that because you're not in the same space or time anymore, right? And but it can also be a moment where maybe you're a grandparent and you have a grandbaby you can only see once a year. You know, sometimes when we think about those moments and those people that we cherish the most, the thoughts are actually negative. Oh, why can't I see my grandbaby? Oh, that girl never lets me see my grandbaby. This kind of thing, right? Right? Or I wish I could be with this person. I wish I could see them. You're falling over them, all of the things, but you just don't have the ability. And so part of the idea for us is to sort of change the intention in those kinds of moments. If when you think of your grandbaby, you think of that lost person that you really have those loving feelings for, to think even if I get to see them or not, I want them to have the most amazing and joy-filled and radiant, just special and beautiful experience that they can have. Human beings are receivers, you know, and we work off of vibes. And I think if everyone is more intentional about making sure that when they think of the people that they love, that they send that kind of energy, then their receiver will pick that up. Now, that receiver and that energy shouldn't just be reserved for people that you love. You should also be able to look around in this audience and see people that come from seemingly disparate cultural groups or environments or belief systems or sexual preferences, melanin levels, right? and we should be able to look at each other and whether or not we think we get along or not, because of the singular narratives that you've been fed about each other that says this person is different from you. Whether we believe that kind of BS or not, to be able to look at another spirit and human being and to know that that person is valuable and that person is worthy of love and care, and to also send to that person that you may disagree completely with some love and care and radiance and light and grace as well. So it's interesting the differences in thoughts. No, let's stop for a second. Let's stop. No, we should really track that. When we talked about it being somebody that, and this is, I do feel one of the larger issues that we have here. We've sort of created these energies that say in order for people to get along that they have to agree about everything. It's over 300 million perspectives here. That's never going to happen. So I think if we start to try and find that we are capable of agreeing even though we disagree, you know, I mean, I know you've heard this kind of terminology in this city before. So I don't mean to browbeat that point. That's not where I'm coming from at all. But the point that I'm making is just that it's not always the thing that you have alike that makes you find love and compassion. Sometimes you have to build that through things that are ugly things. And so the idea in this moment is really just so that you can look at your neighbor and know that that person is valuable and somebody's baby also. We're gonna continue now with man, we're having so much fun right now. I want to play, but I also want to make sure we have enough time to introduce the members of the band. So let me tell you who you're talking, who you're listening to in this moment. We're gonna start with our guitarist. One more time, our guitarist. From Muskegon, Michigan, but his fingers are from Mississippi. So I got walking blues all day long now. This is a man that has done the great work of really excavating the roots of the music and making sure that he's connected all of those dots. When he plays something that's informed by the entire history, he may have his own approach and swag, But if I ask him to play something that sounds like New Orleans in 1919, he'll say, which neighborhood? That's a level, you know, there levels to all things. But when you hear the work that he's put in, it is not just the command of the instrument, but the compositional acumen, the recordings that he's making right now. This gentleman is definitely going to be the next great guitar hero out of this music. And I feel like we've been waiting for him for 20 years. Mr. Cecil Alexander on the guitar, y'all. Cecil Alexander. On my left and your right, all of 25 years old for a couple more days. Yeah. He's going to be happy birthday coming up on the 9th. He's turning 26 years old. He's got one long gray hair. Well, I had the pleasure of meeting this guy when he was about 6 years old. And somebody said, damn. I'm sorry, no. So it's microphones can be dangerous sometimes. No, but yeah, you know, it's crazy to think about how quickly time is moving. But you know, there was this 6-year-old little boy running around at a sound check in Oakland, California. After the sound check was over, I went into my dressing room, which was certainly locked. And this little boy had the cold, and I walk in, he's sitting on the ground, he's going through my trumpet case. I said, hey man, what are you doing? He was like, I figured I'd just check it out here. Is everything okay? I was like, yeah, everything's okay. He was so sweet, you know. And so we started to talk, and he told me, he got up and he looked me and right in my eyes, he put his hand on my knee and he said, you know, I've been listening to you for a long time. He was 6. And I said, well, you haven't been here a long time, boy. You know, but he says, I'm ready to be in the band if you're ready to have me. I'm ready to say, oh, okay, man, all right, you know. So, but what I loved in that moment is I told him, I said, listen, if you practice 6 to 8 hours every day for the next 10 years, then maybe you'll be good enough to sit in with us at the sound check. And what I loved about it was even to this little boy, when I told him the work that was required to do this, he didn't back away from it. He grabbed a notepad. I said, whose kid is this? He wrote it down. He said, 6 to 8 hours of practice? Okay, this guy is special. We went back to our hotel room, showered up, and came back for the gig. He's sitting on the edge of the bandstand in his little suit with his drumsticks. I said, Eli, you got a gig? And he says, no, I'm just here. You just let me know if there's anything you need. So whose little professional is this? And, you know, there was so much light and grace and curiosity. I asked him if he would sit in and play something with us. He was so little. I said, hey man, you know, what you want to play? You know, Mary Had a Little Lamb? He looked me dead in my eyes and said, you cats know Footprints by Wayne Shorter? I said, yeah, we know it, you know it, you know. He was so little that he couldn't stand and he couldn't sit and play, he had to stand and play. He sounded good, and from that moment, I've watched him, his commitment to the work. The things that he's pulling from to play this music don't just come out of the stuff that starts 100 years ago. It comes from the traditions that were carried with the Africans that were brought here 100 years ago. So if I ask him to play something that sounds like, let's say, Songhai music or Wassawa music, he can play that. If I ask him to play something that sounds like God music, he understands. And so when he's playing something, you guys heard it when he played the dunes in this moment here, what he's pulling from comes from 2 millennia worth of musical, harmonic, and rhythmic traditions out of Africa, not just 100 years. So for a 25-year-old to put that together is, I mean, beyond words. So Mr. Eli Howard. Eli Howard, y'all. And last but never least, all of 19 years old. Oh, 20 years old. That's right, 20 today. Thank you. That sounded like my mother. Mom, was that you? Okay. You're like, finish your breakfast. No, but 20 years old, I mean, you heard what it is that he plays, so I don't have to talk much, you know, but I will say that getting a chance to get to know this young man and to hang out with him, he's deeply present. Even like this moment right now, you can feel the difference in energy between listening and when you're conversing with people and they're waiting to speak. This audience is listening. When you hang out with Rioma, he's deeply present. You feel his intentionality behind listening. So when he tells a story musically, it's being informed by all of the other ideas that are surrounding it, because he considers those ideas as beautiful and as valid as his own. So that level is a master level, even though he's only 20 years old. So please give it up for a phenomenal time. Mr. Rioma talking about the bass, y'all. They're gonna kill me, but we're gonna make a change to the program and play something to slow it down a little bit and get a little move going, a vibe. We're gonna play a song that was composed, well, actually it was popularized in this context by Miles Davis, but it isn't his tune. And I never wanted to play the song, and Weedy, who was our djembe player for many years, a special guest now when he plays, but one night he said, "You're gonna play this song, I don't care, you gotta play this song because I'm your brother." We played the song ended up getting nominated for a Grammy for Best Singer. So I figured I should probably play it some more. So we're gonna play it for you now. This one is called Guinnevere. We have one more we're going to play for you guys. And, this one is, well, it just comes from me thinking about my grandfather and my Uncle Donald and the men in my community in Louisiana. Yeah, we can clap for those. Right? You know, the moment when I became chief, I started to think about I just started to think about the things that I experienced as a young man and seeing how intentional the women and the men in my community were about making sure that the younger people not only had a way but had their histories and understood their narratives and their stories and understood that those perspectives and those experiences that actually make this place beautiful should be respected and valued. And so when that moment happened, it just made me think about what was going to be asked of us. And when I say the us now, I mean everybody that's alive living in this time period, right? What is it that we can do to comport ourselves in a way that shows that the other beings that we're interacting with also have grace, right? And deserve respect and reverence. While also being clear about the fact that, you know, if you mess around, you can find out too. I mean, you know, the thing is, I'm not saying to walk away from being American. That's part of who you are too, right? But the point is, we have the ability to be able to do it in a way where we respect and reference the fact that we all have a communal story that is larger than the singular stories. And, you know, I understand that we're in these halls and these spaces, and there's, you know, so many histories here. But I would really be excited to see what America looks like if it actually fulfills any of the promises that it wrote in those documents. What a beautiful opportunity that we have to try and live up to some of those things, but I don't think we've ever actually seen America. And I understand that maybe some communities maybe get that a little heavier than others, but the point is that we all have to help each other find a way through it. And this particular song is rooted in me paying reverence and respect and homage to people that struggled their entire lifetimes to try and find a better a way, and a way that showed the promise that this place said that it holds for human beings, even though they didn't experience in their own lifetimes and they were marginalized and went through all kinds of abhorrent and terrible things. They still tried to make that dream available for other people, even though they would never see it. And so the song is really about those energies. Thank y'all so much. We're going to play this one for you. It's called The Last Chieftan. Thank you. y'all. We want to thank Simone Everstern and obviously the Guinnevere Center for bringing us back to be able to get with you guys. And we hope to see you guys outside. We have some, some vinyl t-shirts and this stuff. We'd love to get a chance to meet y'all because it's been a little while. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all next